And we're back. You are listening to the Gary Walsh Show here on Affinity Radio. And he's here. I've been talking about him loads already. And we are now joined by Michael Rice. Michael, hello, welcome.
Hello, it's so nice to be on Infinity Radio, finally.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've just been talking before we came
Yeah,
on here, and we've got loads of connections in the north.
crazy. It's a small
Absolutely
world.
mental. It is. So you're from Hartlepool.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us about how you got involved in music, in performing, and all of that sort of stuff in Hartlepool, because I know there's quite a few prestigious schools, dance schools,
Yeah,
especially in Hartlepool, right?
definitely. So, well, it all really started really when my mum used to always say I used to be like dancing around the front room and all that when I was a kid. And then when I was 6 years old, I joined Billingham Forum Theatre School for Performing Art. It was just like a little Saturday school where we done like acting, dancing, singing, but I was always terrible at dancing. So obviously I had to go into singing somehow.
Bit of
And then
two-step, you're
I know,
fine.
do you know what I mean? A little bit two step. And she always said I had two left feet, so that was totally out the window as a career. And then I left there when I was 13 and I joined the Dean's Dance School in Hartlepool, where she tried to learn me some dance moves, but that also was terrible.
She'll have
So we
been
just
really
stuck to
trying to
the
whip you
singing
into
part.
shape as well.
Yeah, exactly. She was trying to whip me right into shape. But no, Nadine really focused on my singing and really just brought out the confidence in me to like obviously start songwriting. And I got a little keyboard when I was younger and was just writing songs. And that's where it really all stemmed from, really. Just
Amazing.
working with local schools and yeah, just everyone's
So,
just really brought the best out of me.
is there any like standout like talent shows or like school performances you kind of did as a kid?
Yeah, when I was in primary school, I used to be in the school choir. We used to do like loads of like performances, musicals and stuff. And obviously doing Billingham Forum, I used to do like different musicals and stuff at the like while I was there. And then when I went to Nadine's dance school, obviously we done the dance shows and stuff like that. So that's how I really got into it, really.
Nice, amazing. Very similar to me, except I'm the
Yeah,
dancer, not the singer. So I
yeah,
feel you.
literally 2 feet, two left
Yeah.
feet.
So you at 16 is when you
Yeah,
entered in the X Factor, right?
it
And you
was.
sang Whitney Houston's. You're right, you actually sang my favorite Whitney Houston song.
That is my all-time favorite Whitney Houston song of all time. Like
Yeah.
if I see anyone singing it on TikTok, I'm like, stop! I've got to listen. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite songs. She's always been an idol of mine, Whitney Houston. So that I
Brilliant.
have to sing that one.
And I have to say, for a 16-year-old, you had a very mature voice
Oh,
already
thank
then.
you. Oh, thank
Absolutely.
you. It
So
must
how
be off
was
Miss Nadine whipping me into shape. That's what it was.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
So what was that experience like? Because you didn't make it past boot camp that year, did you? But
Yeah.
what was the whole experience? I mean, did you have a little bit of a Northeast connection with Cheryl at the time?
Cheryl was amazing. She was like absolutely one of the most like best people to have on the show at the time because she left for a little bit and then she came back.
Yes.
So having that connection was amazing. I've been a big fan of Cheryl Cole and we gotta fight, fight. You know what I mean?
This one with
But
the
it all
hand.
really started when I was 16 and I was at prom at the time. I just finished shooting the audition and I done it in Edinburgh. And just that whole feeling of being on the X Factor, it's something that like you always want to do when you're a kid, when you're a singer, like, oh, I'm gonna do it in front of Simon Cowell, and do
Of
you know what I
course.
mean? But yeah, it was such an amazing experience being 16, and as soon as I got through the judges round, I done Wembley Arena. Like, what person at 16 year old gets to perform at Wembley Arena? Like, it was
Incredible.
absolutely insane. And during it never got aired that audition. I don't even know why, but I was the only person that day to get a standing ovation. I was the last one of the day, the
Was
last one
that the
of the
six chair
night.
challenge or boot camp?
What was that? Sorry.
Was it the six chair challenge or was it boot
No, that
camp?
was the arena audition. So you done your
Ah,
main audition, your four judges one, the room audition, then the arenas, and then you went on to boot camp.
all right. The format changed so many times over the last
Oh,
few years,
literally
didn't it?
every year changed. But it was one of the most amazing experiences. It literally like started me off to think, right, this is what I actually want to do now.
Yeah. Who was there any standouts from your year who went on into the live shows and done
I
well?
was with Flair East and Mercado that year.
Oh, what a
Yeah,
year.
way back.
Absolutely. I
I
know.
know. And Flair
So
East is phenomenal, so
yeah. Well, you've got to play that sax, you
you
know what I
got
mean? Absolutely. I
to.
love it.
I love
Um,
it.
so then obviously you waited a little bit. Did you then go out and gig on the back of the X Factor?
No, literally, I went back to working at McDonald's, where that was my first job after leaving school. And went back to McDonald's, and I was busking on a weekend, and my nana would take me to York and Newcastle, and I'd literally just sing every Saturday in the street.
Right.
singing like original songs, covers. And then it was only like maybe a year after I'd done X Factor that I was approached by a producer who'd seen me busking in York, from a video that went viral on the internet, and that's how it all started.
Fabulous. And what was that? Was that for All
That was for
Together
All
Now?
Together Now, and it was the
Yeah.
first ever show, the first ever series. It was just supposed to be like a pilot. I didn't expect anything of it, and then
And you
literally,
won.
I won the first ever series. It was mad,
That's
crazy.
fantastic. So what opportunities came after that?
Yeah, so after done All Together Now, literally I got the call from one of the producers from the also from the BBC, who was like, "We're actually auditioning for Eurovision for the next act to represent the UK. And we've got like all these different singers, and we'd just like to put you in a room and see if we could audition you and try out a song," which happened to be the song I'd went to do Eurovision with. A song called "Bigger Than Us" by John. One of the writers was John Lundvik, who was competing the same year.
Hmm.
And honestly, I didn't think there was the waiting time from the audition to finding out that I'd made the final six to do the, what was it, the BBC You Decide
Yeah.
show.
Is it We
It must
Choose
have,
You show?
yeah, it must have been about, I don't know, about 3, 4 months until I got the call to say, right, you're one of the final six.
Oh wow.
And then everything just happened so fast. Like
I bet.
literally, as soon as I got the call, then it was right. We need you down in London, Manchester. We need to get you like practicing, rehearsing for the show, and it was just madness.
And then you won that.
And then, and then I won that show literally straight
I
after
feel a little
All Together
theme
Now.
coming on right
It was
now.
just and then I never in a million years thought the public would have voted for me to represent the country, and like what an honor that was. Like
Absolutely.
incredible.
What was the experience like? It was in Tel Aviv, Israel,
Tel
right?
Aviv, Israel, yeah.
What was that? I mean, I am a huge Eurovision fan. Have been since I was a kid.
Yeah,
It's always been one of my dreams to represent.
yeah.
Because you're not the first person from the Northeast to
No,
represent.
I'm not.
We've got Scooch, haven't we? Scooch
Yeah, we've
represented
got
as well.
Scoot. Honestly, it was one of the most. Well, I was 20 at the time. I just turned 20 or 21, and to get that opportunity and that from a lad, just a normal lad from Hartlepool, living with my mum and my brothers and sisters, to then be catapulted to Eurovision was just
Fantastic.
absolutely insane. Like I can't even explain it. Like I remember getting like obviously when I'd won, we went straight to Tel Aviv and we shot the postcard and meeting all the incredible like Israelis, and just the community there was absolutely insane. And then I flew home, and then it was preparation for the big night.
And
And
what does that entail? That preparation
it
for the
was like
live final.
vocal coaching, choreography, meeting my backing singers that were from all over the place.
Yeah,
Just literally, we were locked in a room in London rehearsing for weeks and weeks and weeks.
yeah,
And then when we actually got to Israel, to Tel Aviv, to do the rehearsals on the big stage, I remember just standing there and thinking, "Oh my God!" I think that was my I made it moment. My legs
yeah.
were like jelly. I was
Like an
like,
out of
"God."
body experience.
Yeah, this was like different from rehearsing in just a little rehearsal room in London to then being on a stage in front of thousands of people. Like
Yeah,
250 million people watch Eurovision. Like I can't even describe it. Seeing all the flags in the crowd and the arena and that feeling, the atmosphere was just insane. It's a
what
feeling
an
I've never
experience.
felt before. Let me tell you that.
Well, let's not say where you placed, but
Yeah,
you didn't get nil points.
yeah, we didn't get
So
nil fast, and that's good. That's
exactly.
good. But like I always said, like along the whole journey from traveling to all the pre-shows and doing like the London Eurovision parties and meeting all these incredible fans that have been fans from like 1980s. Like, do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? They've been on this journey and meeting them and like hearing their stories. It just made me think like, what an opportunity at 20-year-old to stand on that stage, represent your country, just a normal lad, like regardless of the results, regardless of politics or whatever was going on,
yeah.
like that was my made it moment.
Pinch me moment.
Yeah, there was.
Absolutely.
Even when the results were coming in, I was sat with like the delegation and everyone from the BBC and the whole team. And in that moment, I was just like, you know, no matter what happens, like we all done this together. Like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for yous, and all that
Yeah.
preparation, rehearsals led to that moment. Literally, it's down to 3 minutes on stage.
Yeah,
Like that's
exactly.
all it is.
Wow. What do you think of the girls? What do you think of Remember
Oh, I
Monday?
absolutely love Remember Monday. Do you know what? Last night I was watching the cover they done of Husavik from
Yeah.
Iceland. Wow, I had goosebumps. I think the
Yes.
girls are really talented. They've done like a lot of hard work this year to really push their song out and stuff. I've been watching all the performances, so yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're incredible.
Amazing. So you'll be rooting for the girls.
I'll be rooting for the girls. Also, I love Malta's Eurovision entry.
Let's
Literally,
not talk about that.
I literally see on TikTok all the time. Which is amazing.
It's gonna
I
be
want to
it's
be on one of them bouncy balls. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, so true. So obviously, like you just said, over 250 million people watched
Yeah.
your Eurovision. What then happened after that?
We
Because
literally went into
yeah,
COVID. We literally went straight into COVID. I'd run it in the May. I'd done a few prides, a few shows, a few like interviews, like the Graham Norton and stuff. And
yeah,
then we literally had Christmas, and then straight into COVID. So it was like, oh my god, like what am I going to do now?
the worst timing of the
Like no
world.
shows, no gigs, like nothing. I was like, what am I going to do? And I
Oh
literally
wow.
just took that time to just reflect on the crazy few years that I just had, like
Yeah.
X Factor all together now, then winning You Decide, then Eurovision. It all happened in such a short amount of time, and it was just like, God, like I've just done all that,
And you're
like
only 20.
only 2021. Like I've just done all that now. Now what can I do? How do I top
Wow.
the Eurovision? Like
So
how do I do that?
what did you do?
So I literally went away. I was writing music, done lots of Zoom sessions with producers because that's all we could do at the time, Zoom
Yeah.
sessions, and just writing music and really finding who I was as an artist, and really had to dig deep and think about like where I come from, how I grew up, and that's what led me to obviously writing This Love. One of the first songs I wrote was just that feeling when we were in the studio of when we all wrote that. We're like, wow, that's one of the songs that has to
You
be
can
out.
we're gonna play it in a little bit, but
Yeah,
you can hear the passion that you have, one for the region,
yeah.
and two for your music. It's a very euphoric song,
Yeah, it is.
incredibly
Literally
uplifting.
is. It gives you that like that feeling. It's just like yes, like this is where we're from, and like I've always been like that since well forever. Do you know what I mean? Like my mum had
Yeah,
me when she was 16, 17. She brought me up on her own. Luckily now I have like a really amazing stepdad. And obviously my brothers and sisters, we come from just a little small town by the coast. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And looking back, I just think wow, I don't know. It's just one of them wow moments, pinch me
it's
moments where
amazing.
you just like, you can't believe you've done it.
Yeah, well, so you conquered the UK, you conquered Europe. What
Yeah.
took you to American Idol last year?
Yeah. So it was all, well, I've always, do you know when you're just watching like X Factor auditions and American Idol was always one of them shows where I've always wanted to do it, even though I'm not American. And I thought I'd never in a million years get a chance to even sing, do you know, or
Absolutely.
even like audition for the show. And the producer reached out and was like, "We'd love to have you on the show," but I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like one of them people who just messaged and just.
Yeah.
So I
Like
didn't
me
message
asking
for
you
a
to be on
while.
here.
Yeah, I didn't message for a while, and then I thought, and then I replied back, and I was like, "Yeah, is this what is this?" And they were like, "No, we would really like you to audition. Could you audition tomorrow? Like we're on our last Zoom calls for auditions that we're
Wow.
taking. Would you like to do it?" And I said, "Do you know what? Go on then. I'll give it a shot. Why not?" Um,
Absolutely.
and then they were like, "We'd love you to fly out to LA and obviously perform in front of the judges." So I was like, "Yeah, let's do
What an
it.
experience.
Let's do
Because I
it
feel like
crazy."
obviously you did the X Factor, but I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know why, but in my head, the American Idol is like elevated in a way
Yeah.
because of who's on the panel. Yes,
Well,
Simon Cowell's amazing.
They've had like Kelly Clarkson, like they've had so many amazing people
Yeah,
win the show, like just even just perform in front of Katy Perry and Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie. Like Lionel Richie was like the dad for me, like on the show. Like he was like always there, making sure I'm okay, checking in.
nice.
Like he was one of them people that just kept you nice and calm and chill. And I think that's what you need when you're doing a big show like American Idol, even like Eurovision. You need that one person that keeps you grounded and make sure you're okay and everything's good.
Absolutely. And I bet your mom always does that, does she?
Oh, my mum! If my mum's not there, I'm like, "Mum," but like, you know what I mean. When I went to LA, I flew over there on my own. So that was the first call I made, and she was like, "You having a laugh? You having a laugh?" It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. She was in bed, and I was like, "No, mum, like I've got through." And she's like, "Oh my god, like couldn't believe it." Like I think
Amazing.
Ryan Seacrest, like FaceTimed him was like, "Your boy's done it. Like he's done it."
Yeah.
So that was like one of them wow moments again.
Just amazing experiences, right?
Crazy. Like, do you know what it is with me? Like, people always say, "Oh, he's doing all these shows." It's not about that. It's about like the experience of doing it, and like,
Of course.
who wouldn't want to do American Idol if it was put in front of you? Like, and you've got the talent, and you really like. All my life, all I want to do is be a singer. Like,
Mhm.
so why not give it a shot? You just never know, do you? You take a
Well,
chance.
in these types of shows, you're not necessarily going on to win them, but at least,
Exactly.
to raise your profile, to give
Yeah.
yourself a platform, to
Yeah.
get your music out there.
Exactly. And meet more fans and share my music and spread the message. And do you know what
Yeah,
I'm? It's just one of them things. Like, what
it's
an
brilliant.
experience.
And now you've got a big social media following now from a accumulation of all of the things, right?
It's crazy. Well, when I posted the video of this love back in February, I didn't think it was going to fly as fast as it did. I was
Trend and
just literally
sound.
sat with my mum watching Coronation Street, and I thought, "Do you know what? I'll just pop this song on," and then it's just gone from there, really.
Absolutely brilliant. So what's next for Michael Rice? What are
Yeah,
your plans this summer?
we've been working on loads of new music since lockdown. We've got over like, I don't know, 300-400 songs just sat there. So now I need to get back in with producer Tom, which I'm there next week to finally get everything knuckled down, figure out which ones are the best ones we've done, put it as a package, and then hopefully the Michael Rice album will be out soon. But first of all, we need to get this love out and keep promoting it and push it.
Well, that is what you're here for. That is what we're going to do
Yeah,
today on Affinity Radio. So once once again, thank you so much for joining me today.
honestly, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me, and thank you for all the support. Affinity Radio has been absolutely amazing, so thank you.
Of course. Well, that being said, do you want to introduce your new single?
Yes, let's go. Let's do it.
Go for it.
Hi, I'm Michael Rice, and this is my brand new single, This Love, playing right now on Infinity Radio.
Yes, here it is. Woo!